The Harry Potter film franchise gave us 8 amazing movies, and for the most part they are well produced. But there are some goings on within the movies that go beyond explanation of the characters' magic. Despite the immense success of the Harry Potter franchise, there are many weird mistakes that go on and grace the wizarding world. In today's video we are going to go over these mistakes. This is technically a part 2 as we've already made one video about Harry Potter movie mistakes, so go ahead and check that video out. If you do enjoy today's video, leave a like and let us know that you subscribed if you subscribe, because you may be within the chance of a shout out at the end of the month. Number 1. Visible wires. Nothing will take the magic out of a film like seeing wires, am I right? In Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, when we see Professor Quirrell announce that there's a troll in the dungeons and Albus Dumbledore shouts for everyone to be silent, and he asks for the teachers to follow him down there is another shot where we see Professor McGonagall, and within this shot we can see wires from the candle because they are very clearly visible. Granted though, you do have to really look hard to actually see these wires, so how often are people going to notice this? Number 2. Moving blanket. It may come to a surprise, but Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was actually one of the movies that consists of the least amount of mistakes. However, saying this, there is an oversight involving a blanket in the beginning of the scene in which Harry is inside Arthur's house, sat on the sofa talking to Ginny. At first, the blanket can be seen positioned on the arm of the sofa, and I personally didn't notice this change, but in the next scene, suddenly the blanket is positioned behind Harry. It's pretty clear that Harry didn't move the blanket at any point during the scene, so this is obviously a mistake. Number 3. Is it 4 lines or 3? During a scene in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, we see Fred pass a note, and the writing and the matter of lines on the paper is clearly different at the time that it ends up in Ron's hand. He obviously didn't pick up a different piece of paper, so it's another blatant movie mistake. A note to movie producers: if you're going to use a prop in a scene, make sure it's the same in every shot. You can clearly see that once Ron has the note in his hand, there are 3 lines of writing instead of the before 4 lines that we see originally, and the handwriting is also totally different. Number 4. Visible battery pack. This next error is one that is very noticeable, and I personally did notice this within the movie. In Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, when Harry and Hermione use the time turner to go back in time and they are hiding behind the patch of pumpkins, you can clearly see something pretty obvious underneath their shirts. This is of course a battery pack. These types of portable packs are used in movie production all the time, but you aren't supposed to see them. The last thing you want when you're watching a movie is to be reminded that none of it is real by seeing a visible battery pack. This is a pretty bad screw up, and in this particular scene it's very noticeable that the characters have it on them. But it's not the only scene where this happens, so this is a very major movie mistake. Number 5. Different gates. In Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, there is a scene in which Harry is running away from the basilisk and he ends up at a dead end which is blocked off by a gate. Strangely, as Harry lowers himself down and finds himself to be trapped, the gate behind him seems to completely change. In one scene, the steel bars rearrange themselves and make a gap. I'm not really sure what happened or how it happened, but you can definitely see it. The only explanation that I can think of is that they must have shot this scene in 2 separate shots on different days. Otherwise, they would have had to have put a gate behind him twice, and as you can see, they are 2 completely different gates. You really would have thought that somebody would have checked over the before footage to maintain consistency, but no. Number 6. Styling mistakes. Anybody who has had crimps put in their hair will know that they don't come out easily. During the flying lesson scene in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, there is a section where Hermione's hair has clearly been crimped. But within the next shot, which may I add is the same flying lesson, the crimps within Hermione's hair are basically non-existent. Crimps don't just appear when the wind blows on them, and it's pretty obvious that Hermione didn't wander off and somehow straighten her hair, so So where did they go? I'm not sure why the makeup team decided to crimp Hermione's hair to begin with, but since they did, you would have thought they would have kept it consistent. Well, there we have it, the end of the video and 6 Harry Potter movie mistakes. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, share this video and our other videos with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one.